A lot of people are saying that the reason the U.S. will not experience a recession is the good old faithful U.S. consumer. What are we going to see this week, at least?
Absolutely, that's the case. So first of all, with that GDP number coming up on Friday, that's the second print on the fourth quarter, and we're going to see a further downward revision. So as disappointing as 0.7% growth was last quarter, that's going to be revised to something south of half a percentage point. So the economy was close to stalling in the fourth quarter, and what kept it going was consumers. With that GDP report, then we also get the January data on consumer spending, and leading up to that, obviously, the consumer confidence data tomorrow. And what we're seeing is that consumers are the lifeline for the economy this year, and even though sentiment and confidence has been wavering a little bit, demand for things like autos and housing and big-ticket purchases has remained largely intact. And so that is very much the reason why we can avoid a recession in the U.S. Consumers are muddling through, good but not great.
We had seen auto sales pretty healthy over the last few quarters.
Yes.
Will we see any impact from the little pickup in wages that we've been seeing?
That is a powerful driver of stronger consumer spending this year. So we have to remember that with the unemployment rate below 5%, wage pressures are finally starting to pick up. We're not talking about an inflation flare-up by any stretch, but a little bit of wage pressure goes a long way to boosting overall household income growth, and that's an important, critical economic engine.
Carl, I want to play a soundbite from Lakshman Achudan, who was on surveillance this morning, ECRI obviously, and had been talking about a recession some time back and was pretty bearish. Let's have a listen to what he had to say.
Sure.
Looking out the next couple of quarters, we don't see any sign of an upturn. There will be another recession, and there's no way around that. We've had 47, we're going to have 48. The question is it imminent?
Well, and to put that into context, he says, no, it's not imminent. The next 12 to 18 months, we will not see a recession. Now, if he is saying that, are all these recession promoters completely wrong?
Well, I didn't agree with his bearishness just a while back, but I do agree with him now that a recession is not imminent. Now, we always have to be cautious of recession risks, and when the economy is slowing down as much as it did in the fourth quarter, then the vulnerability of the economy certainly is elevated. However, folks need to evaluate what are the real drivers of the economy going forward. So it was a largely export-driven recovery from the recession. That driver is no longer present. Now it's really a domestic spending story, and when you have the unemployment rate as low as it is, then that's a pretty resilient story. So yes, a recession will come eventually, but I think it's going to be several years off.
We need new home sales and existing home sales to do better this week, don't we?
Well, the housing data in midwinter, we can kind of keep at arm's length. It's sensitive to, it's a low season for the sector. Weather, financial market movements can all distort that. So what we need to focus on is consumer and all those related metrics, less so on the housing data. Kind of dim the monitor and tune in again when we start getting March, April, May peak home buying season data.